Now, if you've been watching the OVERDRIVE digital show often, you would know that last week I was super excited about the 25th of August because this is the day when Triumph is supposed to reveal a new motorcycle. Today is that day and hence this video. Now you see the 650 to 700cc segment, it may not be as hotly contested as maybe the 400 to 500cc segment, but I believe that it is a sweet spot for performance, practicality and affordability. It has created quite a few underrated gems like the Honda CB650R or the Kawasaki Z650 or the Yamaha MT-07. And now Triumph believes that this space has enough space for one more player. Now, a 3-cylinder street bike could be just what the doctor ordered, and we would agree because looking at the sheer number of people or prospective 650 owners who are opting to go with a pre-owned street triple, there's certainly scope for a 3-cylinder, nice, sporty street bike, and that's exactly what Triumph wants to capitalize on. So for this new offering, Triumph is bringing back a name from the history books, the Trident. Now the Trident finds its roots back in the 60s. That's the same era when most Triumph motorcycles looked like they were derivatives of the original Bonneville. But fast forward to the 90s in the more recent history of Triumph and you will see that this was a typical 90s street bike, a nice sporty street bike with a sporty tank, that step seat, jazzy graphics, all of that. Now the new Trident wants to sort of pick up where the old bike left off. So it's not just the name but also the design that will tap into the modern retro genre, just the way the Honda CB650R does. And that is exactly what this bike is aiming at. Like its Japanese rival, the Trident 2 will have a sportier intent and will mark a clear distinction over its classic siblings from the Bonneville and the Truxton families. Think of it as a love child of the Speed Twin and the Street Triple, where the inspiration for the wedge shape of the tank or the round headlamp comes from the Speed Twin, whereas the sportier chassis components like the design of the frame, the engine configuration, the inverted forks and monoshock suspension, and the sharp tail section shows off hints of the Street Triple. Now the retro theme for the new Trident has very little in common with that of the 90s. However, to me the Trident looks like it's the Street Triple made even more friendlier. The Trident's lean design proudly shows off its biggest trump card, the triple-cylinder engine, as it draws most of the attention, at least on this black and white prototype that was shown to us. The exposed frame, the drilled bash plate, very scrambler-like, and the underbody exhaust muffler add hints of ruggedness to the motorcycle. The sharp tail section with its Daytona-inspired taillight looks great in my opinion, and I really hope that Triumph fits in that registration, the rear registration plate on the wheel hugger somewhere and leaves that clean design for the tail. Looks really nice, really sharp, very sporty. Now at the same time, I believe that the right hand side is the best angle to view this motorcycle from, because from this side you also see the gull wing shape for the asymmetrical swing arm, and that sort of contributes to this thought of the right hand side of this motorcycle being the prettier one. Now apart from a few design cues that it shares with the Speed Twin or the Street Triple, there's nothing that is common between the Trident and these motorcycles. The chassis, the engine, they're completely different, they're completely new. And I expect a seat height of between 820 to 830 millimeters. So riders above 5.5 feet should feel very comfortable and just at home on this motorcycle. Now Triumph also assures that the suspension and the braking components will be from its premium parts bin. But given the competitive pricing that the Trident is aiming at, don't expect top drawer equipment. For example, the brakes will come from Nissan and will have the more cost-effective axial mounted setup and could be similar in spec to the Bonneville T120. The tires on the prototype seen here are the street-friendly Michelin Pilot Road 5 in 120/70 R17 and 180/55 R17 sizes for the front and rear respectively. Motivation for the Trident comes from an engine that is derived from the Daytona 675cc power plant. I'm definitely excited. Now while the 90s Trident had an engine size between 750 to 900 cc's, I expect this new engine to be between 675 to 700 cc's. Now that will not only give it an upper hand over the competition, but will also prevent any sort of cannibalization with the lower variants of the Street Triple. Now being a motorcycle that is aimed at the newbies or the fairly inexperienced rider, This has been developed with the A2 licensing norms in mind, which means that power will be under 100 PS and on par with the rivals. As far as the electronics go, there'll definitely be riding modes, there'll be dual channel ABS, there'll be traction control as well. Now the instrumentation has not been shown to us in full detail, but I expect this to be a basic LCD panel, and the navigation switches on the handlebar tell me that there will be some sort of connectivity options as well. Now Triumph is tight-lipped about whether or not there will be other iterations of the platform that underpins the Trident. But since the blokes at Triumph have categorically mentioned that the Honda and the Kawasaki 650s are the Triumph Trident's natural rivals, it is natural to expect more variations of this platform. We've already seen Triumph take the expansion route with the Bonneville lineup, and there's also news of the Honda CB650X Tourer, which will join its compatriots, the Kawasaki Versys 650 and the Suzuki V-Strom 650 sometime next year. So it's only natural to expect that there could be a Tourer that Triumph could bring on this platform. A Sprint 650 maybe? Why not? You never know. Now, why do I have this speculative tone throughout this video? Well, that's because Triumph has only shown us the design so far, the black and white prototype that you've seen through the course of this video. All the technical details will be revealed slowly and steadily in the run-up to its launch. When is the launch? Well, early 2021 is what Triumph has confirmed with us. The India launch will happen sometime soon after. We still don't know, because of the COVID situation, exactly when they will bring this model to India, when will the conditions be feasible for them to bring this model in India. While the Trident has been designed and developed at Triumph's headquarters in Britain, it will be manufactured in Thailand. What's more exciting is that Triumph confirms that the Trident will be its most accessible motorcycle until the smaller entry-level motorcycles start rolling out from the Triumph Bajaj alliance. That means you could end up getting a motorcycle that is quite sporty, almost as friendly as the Street Triple, but at a price that is lower than a Street Twin. And that will be the biggest draw for the Trident. Its relaxed ergonomics will make it more democratic and appeal to bikers ranging from newbies venturing out into the middleweight genre to those wanting to come back to motorcycling but with a friendly tool. Well, that's all the information that we have so far on the Triumph Trident. What do you think about the Trident? Do you think it has the potential to disrupt the 650 to 700cc segment worldwide? And more importantly, how do you think will it perform in the Indian market if it is going to be the most accessible model from Triumph for some time to come? Let us know in the comment section below. I'm very curious to know what you think about it. And as always, do not forget to like and share this video with your friends, with your motorcycle groups. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the OVERDRIVE YouTube channel and follow ODMag on all the popular social media networks. Thank you so much for watching.